Okay, we are live. Hope everyone's doing all right. I hope you are having a good day. We are back with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're back on the case for what's it called, the Great Kokoro, and where we left off, we finally decided to defend Sosuke Natsume. Like Naruhito-san basically is like, you know what? I need to believe in my client, and so we just finally decided, you know what? We we have to defend Sosuke Natsume, and also we met Joanne and John Garadeb, who were the funniest like characters so far in this case. We didn't meet two other characters near the end. Granted, I don't know what their names were. They were wacky as frick. Yeah, we're gonna start the trial for now. That's basically what we got. Oh, the one thing we did actually find out is the receipt, where we find out that the soldier, the Mr. Garadeb, bought a book that had this little letter on it, which said what was it? I don't know if I have it actually. It basically said to my dear John, love Mary, which is the name of the victim. So that's a clue to something. The couple over here didn't know who killed or stabbed her. They were because she was busy beating the snot out of him, thinking that he was cheating on her. In reality, he wasn't. And this the whole logic and reasoning that had to do with Herlock Sholmes was hilarious too. And yeah, I think that's all I can remember right now. So let's get right into it. Well, I never expected this. I thought we'd been back here again so soon. We are on a study tour on Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning! Oh yeah, it's Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. Yeah, what the fudge? The early bird catches the worms, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now, I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. You okay? I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. I'll do. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo and Squire. Yes? I got a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that may be, Miss Susato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's to be expected. Is that right, Miss Susato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, the Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Oh, yeah. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon, for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane! Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us! Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught the people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! It's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! No, I'm not. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Ah! Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquires! I'm in your debt forever! I shall never forget this quick kindness for as long as I live! Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court is court session's about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Here we go. Alright then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. Wait a second. My second appearance in British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. February 20th, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Oh, we got new jury. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. I forgot how his voice was. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Arrogance. I feel like that's too, nasally for him. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Sususu-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Very true. A most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end. Thank you, consuls. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in the court as impartial members of the public? Wait a second. Isn't this the guy that was a witness last case? You never know what might be down your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. What the fudge? Why is Joanne here? I just realized that. What the? I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that that mustache foreigner did indeed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soskei Natsume. And while our country is extending this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of the most sinister act of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime. I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Of course. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's the one those dreadful Japanese. Oh my gosh. Woo. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Pray, forgive the courtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in the great chamber. Yeah, allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Oh, yeah, I figured. Yup. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? Oh, that's what she looks like? I thought it was like Mary or something. Was it Olive? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Ooh, that's probably important to know. Comatose. I see, but her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge would not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map. Here we go. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing that the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached by behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file of everything we need to know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the document as evidence, if you please. Okay, the case file has been entered into the courtroom. Let me see here. Okay, young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Victim olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Location, Bateman and Briar Road, East Side. Reporting officer, Royally Beat. Okay. Additional notes. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of the injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested by the following day. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Oh. Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared. To walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scraggly-looking Soskei-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife. A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Okay. Now then, what do we know about the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? Let me just look at this really quick. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. Oh. You're right. Well spotted, Mr. Susato. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes. You don't think. It could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear. I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. From what we could tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had any much to off pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Yes! If theft and grievance have been ruled out as motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have for stabbing a young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Objection! Oh, fudge. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of flinging freshly uncorked bottle in the public gallery. But your words have sounded hollow bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to the arrest of the Nepalese student. Yes, sir. Here we go. Witness testimony. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems. was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Oh. Old books, you'll say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident. Oh. Ooh. Oh, yes. I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. Okay. Ooh, I need to look at this. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Okay, well, let's calm down there, buddy. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sozo? Do go on. Mr. Natsume had admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now that you mention it. When we visited him in prison yesterday, he did tell us all what happened. As I was walking along the cursed pavement, I could make out a sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. A green overcoat? Well, that's exactly what a woman in that print is wearing. Oh my! A photographic printed full color? What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of the terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crimes of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. The fact that the accused concedes. Ugh. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, Counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Here we go. Mr. Natsume. Oh yeah. Hold it! A light fog, you say? Well, like for London, you can see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though. That's light, isn't it? Around these parts, yes. Nothing something I expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I read that London's famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to be romanticized, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of the year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed. The other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. Ugh, Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. However, on the day of the concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. Give me a second, it's getting hot here. No doubt lamented by the accused. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else but the victim and the accused. Hold it! How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime have told us. Yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them's a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of the winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement.
Hold it!
From behind, you say? That's right. That's right. As you can see from this print. Yeah, it was stabbed in the back. Yes, quite so. Quite so, Inspector. The hands of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition. Comatose, no less. I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's been treated at Bart's. I was hoping that she'd come around before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Ugh. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings? I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-handed books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused could have easily carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full of those books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew he was there. You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes. Those being a number of books he brought was on his way home, it seems.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Okay. The closest second-handed bookshop to the accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in the lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Yep. Something like this. The local map information has been updated in the court record. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would have certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from the particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being... The crucial detail in what you just told the courtroom inspector is the location of the bookshop. I couldn't agree more. So, where is it exactly? Are you winding me up, Sunshine? I just explained that! It's through the books route. And I distinctly remember seeing you nod along, Counsel. Oh, yes. Yes, of course! I must have been so nervous I didn't take it in. The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend. No, not yet. The trial's only just begun after all. Mr. Naruhodo, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through your court record at this stage. Mistake. Inspector, continue with your testimony, please. It was a matter of... Oh, I didn't... That Mr. Matsume's fate will be sealed? Yes. They're sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony.
Hold it!
Okay, yeah, wait. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? Maybe vital importance. Maybe. Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Oh!
Objection!
This is wrong. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is the sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident, and details the purchase of free second-handed books. And you found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume? Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed appear to purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. What? Inspector, do you not know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it. But in fact, that is the bookshop where the defendant visited on the day of question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Objection! Yes, for what difference it makes. Whatever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here if that might be a help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. The defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books. Then yes, he would have certainly have passed the place where Mrs. Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may have very well turned out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Sorry, eating gummy worms. Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Meerschaum Street, going east. Oh, well, he could have just gone like, wah. The local maps information has been updated in the core record. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh. Yeah, he's like, he still could have followed her. My learned Japanese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus. Wow, you're just being rude. You put that class down now, or I'll put it down for you. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. The accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books. There's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Yup. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Let me see it. Thing is, like, I mean, yeah, you would have seen it. I wonder if there's a point where he reveals to us that he went the long way for some reason. Like, he just went, weep. He could have done that, but logically speaking, why would he do that? Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend. Wow, he just called me stupid. Oh, what the fuck? How many glasses do you have? Whenever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Ah! He's like he shot me. I just suspected you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say, eh? I have enough of this now. Beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. Ah, she's absolutely right. We must think. We must consider the assertions just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim Soskei-san must have asked to the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but... the assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Objection! Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. Fudge, he's right! I'll save here. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. But, aha, yes, I got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accuser's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. Are you serious? Huh? That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. I don't believe this! I thank you, my learned friend, and suggested that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, the defense still... Hold it. Who was it? Him? I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. Wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean we members of the jury are completely convinced now? Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
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 Oh. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. What the fudge? To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Naruhodo. He's gonna go Super Saiyan. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. It's like Asta from Black Clover. My lawyer power is never giving up. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those aren't the eyes of Koi, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into an antique British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antique if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a subnation examination if so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a subnation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with the Nipponese whippersnapper and his unctuous refusal to throw in his alley. Very well done. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will explain on what grounds you have determined the defendants to be guilty. Oh, fudge. Judicial findings! The jurors' contentions. Forgot about this one. For pity's sake, the little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in the green collapsed before his eyes, why could it only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing. Your books, yes. Nice shop, that. But bourbon books, not worth a visit. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of the Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Ugh, why do you have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. Alright, here we go. Let me save here. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your subnation examination. Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you could do it. Oh, snap. Let's go. The defense's rebuttal.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but aren't you? Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face, or the sight of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten. How you treated me the other day? You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now, there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back to the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. And thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. If he said that woman on the green collapsed before his eyes, why could only have been the victim?
Hold it!
You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let's not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is so obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly. claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Wow. I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. Ugh. If no one else could have done it, the accused must have been the man, really? It couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. Well, that went well, for her. The man went and gone around the house of his way from the bookshop, now in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Hold it! He noticed. What is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garadep, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room? The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand. She's keeping up that charade? Ugh, this is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for jury in this trial, I mean? Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me, yes! He's just the sort! What? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting all that unscrumptious mustache. Wow, these people are just rude. A man never speaks. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up? Hold it! A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son! My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. Ah. The likes of you would understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. I need to do my wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs to be doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of the year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By the old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence. Oh. Oh, near Chisholm Street. Near Chisholm Street. On the map, Mr. Naruhoyo, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. Hold it! So, if I understand correctly, you're a day laborer and you were doing road maintenance that day. That's right. Like I said, you get a lot burst gas and water pipes underground in the middle of the winter. It's the only time of the year fellows like me can actually make a few bob. And I'm missing out today. And when you say from dawn till dusk? Well, the work has to be complete within the day, see? No coaches or pedestrians can pass while it's happening. Oh. I wonder if I could trouble you, sir, to mark this on the street map. The exact location of the works you were carrying out.
Give it here, then. Let me have a look. Right, let's see then. Here we are, Merchant Street. Yes, it was a seal-like. It was a tiny dig. I can tell you, we have to get through all the drips of snow that have frozen solid.
And what sort of time did you finish the work?
Well, we started in the morning, and we can't have finished before gone 6, I say. The snow has stopped coming down, but it was long past dark for sure.
That means the road work was still going on when the screen was attacked at around 5 o'clock. Roadworks on Chisholm Street, huh? Okay, let's...
Hold it!
Sorry, fold did you say? Fold what? No, what I said was hold it. What I want to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out the books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget the day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and dunked my head. It was always worse after the...
Oh. Wait. It's starting to hit me now. Oh, didn't... Mr. Natsume must have taken the long way? And if he did, how did he see the woman fall? Well, it's because he didn't see the woman fall with the green overcoat. He saw the old man with the green overcoat fall because he slipped on ice. That's what happened.
It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. I knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information on your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Sorry, extremely sick? No, I'm quite ill right now.
Oh my god. It sent a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced at Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. I agree. It's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that should shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something.
We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhodo. Cunningly.
Yes, you're right. And if any of their assertions are... okay.
Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other. Objection!
Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel, explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
What? I swear to get it done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3.
Oh, me, sir? What do you mean?
Juror number 5's words are just now extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map in the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Chisholm Street, making it impassable, which means that the defendant's route home could have not have taken him long, Chisholm Street and down Briar Road.
Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can argue with that, really, can you? You must have got a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back or go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man would have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice.
Yes! My lord, my judge, sir, if I may. Yes. I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should have been filled in. That's what I say.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Okay, it's good that I caught that. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's swinging our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely. Yes, that's exactly what we gotta do. Van Six is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, counsel. Thank you, counsel. On the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Wish I knew how to do a Susato takedown. I suppose words will have to suffice for now. And what did she say? I guess I should have read it. You've changed 2 of the jurors' minds, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, just 2 more to go. Deliver the finishing blow. It's time to turn the tables here. It's time the tables to turn. Okay, I think I know what to do.
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
My, whatever do you mean, sir?
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like it was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-handed tiles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man said he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat, who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are really aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on an icy street in the neighborhood.
Oh my!
Oh.
My goodness. You mean?
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to the horror of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse on the floor in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
How convenient. That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that. My goodness me. Sorry, do you need a pee?
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
on Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means that the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my. Yeah, honestly, how is the prosecution going to turn on this now? Because this makes him look not guilty as heck.
You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft to be roaming around there, we would have been boxed this off hours ago.
You guys suck. No, I'm glad he did this because that just proves the man's innocent.
Oh, really? What would you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? Befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Hold it. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but... You'd like to change your leaning, I presume. I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well...
Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion.
The ayes 2, the noes 4. So the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we'll no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Oh, he's gonna break it again.
Could it seem this churlish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising that objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive that discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks?
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth.
Indeed. Stalwart Junior Juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you say it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you have excavated, sir. That's right. It took me the whole day they paid me for a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance rarely vaulted by anyone of a moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time! No coaches would have hoped to pass it anyway. And we just turn away any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over all of us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2 yards trench in his meanderings around town. Ah! Is that true, is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down the Briar Road.
Ugh. Crushed in a single sentence. Wow, all of that just to... Okay, that makes sense.
And old man. Cool, man, you can talk? You said around 5 o'clock on the day in question you stepped on a felon Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember.
You don't remember?
How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Ah! Order! Order! Lord Van Zieks, explain yourself. My lord, if you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Oh, fudge! So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord! The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses! It's next witnesses. Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zieks brings to the stand as his witness, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soskei-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over.
What the fudge?
Witnesses, please state your name and occupation for the court.
What the is he chewing on his strap of his helmet? Constable Rolly Beatty, sir? Nothing to report in the street, sir?
And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife.
Oh, they're husband and wife. What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired.
Hardly surprising. What's being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collecting taxes, surveying the streets, checking the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean, and extinguishing our street lights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I've collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that the policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby, he's a man of honor.
Yeah. And a man of slumber.
On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
Constable Rolly Beat, sir! Nothing to report in the streets, sir!
What a great witness he's going to be.
Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw in the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir!
What is that music? What the witnesses saw.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work.
Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over it, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear. This policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true,
the alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed.
It's definitely, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place.
I'm gonna knock you down a peg, bro.
What an unfortunate chance scene and on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh, I know. But I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the law for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. We may have well time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, witnesses saw the face of a man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Soskei Natsume. And one of those witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking.
Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense. Commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Here we go. What is this song?
Hold it!
No time to change after work, you say. Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. B?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for a strapping young man only. Women, children, and elderly can't even apply.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think you can probably see why children and elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rolly looks even so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rolly, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes, I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes.
Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you have finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm proud of owner of this, I serve my city and my queen to the end.
What's that now?
My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It has a noble founding principles of those force written on it as a reminder to all those policemen on our sworn duty. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without grumble. I know that plodding my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure.
So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then.
But sir, just on that particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Wow.
Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog, the pavement in front of us.
Oh, I fudge.
All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something up before running off.
Hold it!
I should. Scatter something. What do you mean by that?
Oh well, I couldn't make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? What? Ah, yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see, old books.
Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them, all around when the victim of a laid pavement.
Indeed, I was clearly pictured in this photographic print.
That rotten Japanese man did when he did the deed.
Let's not forget it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
But we saw him. It was the man in the dog without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the snub nose. Everything.
Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. It seems as though they are telling the truth here.
May I remind the court that this ambiguous testimony comes from a policeman, his wife. Now please continue. Yes, sir!
He ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be the police officer myself, but I am a proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. B to go. I was off duty by that point, but Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box where the beat the incident fell under, so she could go in, report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from help on the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more important than a young couple in love working together, you know. And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. Oh, please, you're making me must blush, isn't he, darling? Yes, sir! What Patricia said, sir!
Let's move on, shall we? Okay.
Hold it!
But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas streetlights, would you? By the gas streetlight, slant lights.
We absolutely could! Us Londoners have an exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was already light, didn't he?
Yes. And what of the fog? Sorry, I'm back. Actually, sorry.
Well, it's an absolute menace to those of us who live with it, of course. Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see with the end of your own arm.
Yes, alright, I'll take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain
that it was a little Japanese man we saw.
Can't we, darling?
It's like she's breaking his back.
What? Ah, yes. It was the accuser, no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the stout mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir.
As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soskei saw they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, huh? That's your entire testimony?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on the Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So, if that's true, where does it leave us? Members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. And then what do we do?
If Kazuma-san were here,
what are you trying to say?
I think he would have tried to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal, calling that into question will help. But if you could identify some other part of the testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit that, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Alright.
Put simply, we must focus on finding discrepancy in their statement somewhere else. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Ugh. Why do I always seem to be so up against it?
Mr. Lawyer, sir? Can I ask you something?
Yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it!
What? No. No, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like... Oh, I know. What about the books and the man dropped? I could tell you the name of every single one I could. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
That will do, Mrs. Beat.
No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Roy will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense, but please put your husband's fist down.
Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Beat? Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling?
Name of the 4 books he dropped.
Hold it!
Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you said.
Those purchased by the cursed accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question. After I'd been to the police box for help I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm proud policeman's wife after all. I did it for Rolly.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard, don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime.
Well, Mrs. Beat, seeing as you regale the court with your tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene?
Yeah, let me make sure. The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, A Meal for Gaboureau, and Canterbury Earnings.
I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was a picture of Monsieur somebody or other, and what's the yearnings? Then there was a meal for someone, and then the last one was definitely the thingamy something.
Oh my lord.
You see? Yes, I see there are one or two holes in your memory. Oh well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. These were indeed books found the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have to answer too.
Terrifying. Yes, she really is. So that's it. That's her turn.
Hold it!
Oh, I already said this.
Hold it!
Alright, let me... There was a second one I skipped, right?
Objection!
So you're saying that there were 4 books? Yup.
That's right. I remember all of them.
Yep. What's a year needs? A meal for someone and the thingy gummy something. I'm sorry, Miss B. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no! What flaw?
Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books?
Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchase that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no! That can't be! I remember seeing them. There are 4 books, I tell you! 4 dirty bold books!
Oh, really? Have a good look at this photograph print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear it! I saw them!
No, madam, I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. Grr, grr. So it cannot be denied. But though you say it was the defendant you saw, it could be very well be mistaken.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! No!
Objection!
Oh.
It's plainly evident. That is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that there were 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene.
fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. Ah. So you've striven to avert attention from that by the dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
Oh, he sees right through me.
But your plan is somewhat recalled against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. Oh, you see, the matter's not up for debate. At the scene of the Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books.
Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print.
That print? You mean to say?
Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand.
Oh, well.
Oops.
The Lion's Pride? Wait a second. Isn't that the same, like, thing that the soldier had? It's the 4th book.
As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from the view of the original print by the victim's torso.
No.
No!
Man, I'm getting my butt handed to me on this one.
Order! Order!
There, you see? You see? Look at that. Look. Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt of the books purchased by the accused on that day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please. Oh, yes, of course. Picture Monsieur somebody, oh, blah, 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 blah. The picture, Monsieur Lecor. What's the yearnings? Canterbury yearnings. A meal for someone? A meal for Gaborol, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. Beat powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional. Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless.
But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4.
There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown as this photographic print. I'm sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord.
This is hers.
As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
The victim was holding her own book? I wonder what became of that 4th book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigative officers of Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. You will submit that in an aforementioned photograph print to the court, please. Please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord.
The 2nd crime scene photograph has been... okay. And the 4th book has been entered.
The prosecution rest.
What the? Oh, whoa. Wait.
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt.
You're right. You'll never be able to read it in this state, especially not in the latter pages.
Oh. Is it the soldier?
Because I remember when we confronted the maid and the soldier with Sherlock Sholmes, they had that argument that had a fire happening. I mean, there was an affair, right?
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book. Recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? Yeah.
Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all, so it wouldn't be something I heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard that book by name before. Very recently, too.
It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh. So it's either the maid or the soldier. That would be crazy if it was the maid out of pure jealousy. Look at what I said.
Alright, back. I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spirit's longer route to the accuser's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile. I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat. So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions, should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty. Or is a decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seem to have all the evidence. This trial has run its course. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we are in a terrible precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse.
Objection!
I'm not done yet.
No, my learned friend, it's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die's been cast. There's no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say!
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed, for a lowly judicial assistant of this audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh? I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Mr. Naruhodo. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you, madam. Go ahead, Mr. Citadel, please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the class cross-examination finished. I see. And you believe that this new evidence will warrant further examination, do you? Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible. Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mr. Sisto. This is it. Sushito-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present new evidence, my lord. Ooh. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into the case and has hitherto to be overlooked.
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we could see from the newly presented photograph print of the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid Counselor must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hidden, to undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, Counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Mr. Naruhodo.
I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may be very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right.
So, Counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case which this fourth book conceals?
Got it!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The buck? What do you... Good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching to what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh,
Were I to concede at the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there's nothing to discuss. So should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
a charred book. There is just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage the sorry Thomas suffered?
Okay, wait. Not the content. Its owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping her hand as she fell into the floor. After all, it's obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious, how could you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may very well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim this is the owner of this burnt book?
It's him.
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb.
The landlords?
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate of work, I don't know, but... Of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for the jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself.
Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mrs. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house?
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accuser's landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You smudge her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection.
Yeah, no, you don't know. Well, this is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor in Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house.
Good lord! What sort of incident, Counsel?
A fire, my lord.
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. The worst of it is, I lost my favorite book, called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? By Jove! The very same title, the subject of this debate!
Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is risible. All of you told the court that a book of the same name was involved in the fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself in the scene of the crime.
Well, perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly? Absolutely not, sir! My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir! Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
Oh.
There I was, back up against the...
Oh, was she... Oh, she threw the books at him and it freaking got to her.
There I was, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen.
Oh.
The man had his back up against the window, and he had the burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there is no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no signs of broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and...
Not even remotely! Let us not forget the season, and the chilly winter that accompanies it. No Londoner will ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Does the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found its scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife?
I believe it's a possibility, my lord. That's quite enough.
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that our little tips set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly, implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you've done is sully your family's name.
No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
Dragging an upstained citizen's name through the mud, simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable. Too right.
Here we go.
How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nipponese spouting off his fanciful and theories? But, think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache! And he ran away from the scene too. I do declare you're right. It's true. Yes! What did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Sorry. What's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zieks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been...
If books are your prediction, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
Dang, he's getting his butt handed to him. What? No forgive the discourtesy this time?
Ahem. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now set your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability before the court to hear.
Guilty!
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Guilty.
Screw you!
Guilty.
Guilty.
Thank you for that ambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over.
Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up.
Miss Susato? Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting. Oh, we have another right. Yeah. Oh my god, we have to do it again. Summonation examination. You should still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord, the defense asked to exercise its right to summation examination.
You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to cover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Oh my god. To be continued. Oh my god, that's... Yeah. Okay, well, that's enough, Great Ace Attorney for now. I might stream this tomorrow, to be honest. This game is so good. Holy crap, that was insane. Insane trial so far. Anyway, thanks for everybody who's watching up to the VOD at this point. Leave a like and subscribe if you like the VOD up to this point. And you want to know when I'm live, you can just follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and join the Discord server. Both Twitter and Discord links should be in my YouTube and Twitch profiles above, or my YouTube and Twitch profile bios. Sorry, I stuttered there. But yeah, I'm wondering, who could it be? It has to be someone. It has to be one of those two schmucks that we saw earlier before we left the courtroom. Has to be. I think the maid's just being annoying, but other than that, I don't think they did it. Actually, they can't be because they were already like fighting when that was happening. So yeah, we'll find out next time. Until then, guys, stay safe out there and stay healthy. Until then, see ya.